Hi, it's Chantel here from Fiberific. This week we're going to try something a little bit different. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and reading a lot of instructions on how to adapt some of my clothes. So I'm pretty fussy. Like, I love my geek shirts, but normally they come with a crew neck and I hate crew necks. Like, I'm a big girl. The last thing I need is something to make my neck look shorter and wider than it actually is. So I would like to be able to get rid of the crew neck if I could. So I've seen a lot of tutorials about how to change your crew neck into a V-neck. I haven't done it. It's a little bit scary. It's a little bit daunting. So I was looking around, I thought, I'm a crocheter. That is my comfort zone. So there has to be a way to adapt a shirt into a way that I like it using a bit of crochet. Now, I've watched a lot of tutorials. Kristen Omdahl has been putting some fantastic tutorials up on how to crochet into t-shirts and lots of other things that she can do. I need to fix my Spider-Man shirt. So I've taken some photos today of me in my Spider-Man shirt, and there's some particular things I don't like. I don't like how the neck sits. I don't like how the arms make me feel like a wrestler. And while the rest of the shape is quite good, I quite like it, I wouldn't mind a little bit more space just right at the bottom of the shirt. So I'm going to be doing some cutting and stitching on my favorite Spider-Man shirt. So I'm a little bit nervous. Normally I only wear my Spider-Man shirt with like a jacket. That's going to mean I can't wear Spider-Man through summer. Like, it is already hitting tops of like 29 and 30 degrees here in Brisbane. And I don't want to be told, no, you can't wear your Spider-Man shirt because you have to wear a jumper with it to make yourself feel comfortable. What we're going to need for this particular task is the t-shirt that we want to change. Obviously a self-healing cutting mat, a rolly cutter. Because I want to do some stuff on the side, I want some scissors. I'm going to be crocheting my extra bits in with this red Bendigo 10-ply cotton. I'm just using the 10-ply because that's what I had. I probably would have preferred a 4 or 5-ply. And some crochet hooks. I'm going to be using the 1.3mm to pierce the fabric and do the first round, and then I'll change over to a larger hook, the 3.75, to do the rest of the crochet. Okay, so first things first, the scary bit. We need to be brave. The first thing I want to get rid of is this crew neck. I really don't like crew necks. I also want to be really careful not to get too close to my motif. Now you can see I'm smoothing it out here. I just want to make sure there's no large sort of wrinkles in the way before we start. Moment of truth. Let's cut. Okay, so I'm just going to cut just probably around sort of 2 inches from here to here, and then, oh, I'm so scared. What if I wreck my favorite shirt? 2 inches, bring it around and come up to the 2 inches mark. I think one side looks bigger than the other. That's all right. We will fix that in crochet. So that is done. Ah, scared. Okay. The next thing is on this exact muscle tee, they've got a bit of extra fabric in here. So we've got a little stitch ripper, which we will use to get rid of the little shirt seams. Okay. So what we've got is our shirt with its top cut off, with its little sides all unrolled on both sides. So from the inside, I'm literally going to just cut. I'm very careful and not accidentally get anything else. So we're just going to cut off part of the seam. So I'm just starting down the bottom here, and I'm just going to take off that much. That's it. That's all I want to do. It'll open it out. I'll be able to stitch into it a bit. I'll have to put some reinforcing stitches there so it doesn't go anywhere. So we have our hacked up shirts. Now for the fun part, the crochet. So pop your shirt the right way in. So we're going to start at this seam. So I'm just going to grab the end of my yarn. I prefer a piece from the center little yarn ball. Do a slip knot first. I don't think my tail, oh there we go, that's much better length tail. And at about sort of, I'm going to go in here in the seam. This will be the hardest one. You do have to sort of shove your way through. And it's going to be a little bit tricky because this hook is way too small for this yarn. But you just have to persevere because the bigger hooks will not go through the t-shirt. So it's just for this one round that we have to persevere, okay? So in it goes, draw through your loop. We're just doing some single crochet, probably about, and then we're going to do 2 chains, 1, 2, 3, and then at the next sort of where it's sitting flat, I'm not going to be measuring, but I'd say it's about 1 inch, so approximately, but where your hook sits flat, but we're going to go in about ½ centimetre. Look at me crossing over the measurement barriers, ½ inch here, ½ centimetre there. It's only because I know inches but not quarters of inches. Okay, so in we go, yarn through, string it all the way through without splitting it, then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then the natural sort of comfort spot for it, sort of there. So the yarn sits there, so I want to just put my finger there, about ½ centimetre down, and poke it through. Make sure you grab your whole bit of yarn. You really do need to keep double checking it. It is going to be sort of the bane of this story. And then where it's comfortable, poke it in. And then 1, 2, and 3 chains. Oops, I split back there. I'll have to fix that up. It's one of those things, if you spot something, you better have to go back and fix it because you're going to notice it. No one else will notice it. And if it's not something that would bother you, then don't worry about it. But things like that bother me. So the natural point is about here. Break through. And I'm going to just keep doing this all the way around the neck of the shirt. Okay, so you can see where we are. We're about to join up with our round. And because I want to continue going in a straight circular motion, what I'm going to do, because I want it to look like a web, is a single chain instead of our 3, but 1 chain, and then a ½ double crochet. So it's yarn over, insert it into the bottom of the stitch, draw a loop through, make sure you've got all your strands. Yeah, oops, I think I lost some, hang on. There we go. Then yarn over, and then what we're going to do is try and draw that loop through all of that. Now it's particularly difficult. But see how now we're in the middle of those 2 stitches now, we're not on either side. So what we're going to do now is chain 1, single crochet, and then change hook. We no longer need that small hook, which I don't know about you, but I'm pretty darn excited to change up to a bigger hook. I'm jumping up to a 3.75 mil. Okay, so now chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then what we do is we single crochet into the chain space. Okay, and then we go 1, 2, 3, and single crochet into the chain space, and we do that all the way around. So I'll see you on the other side of that. Okay, we are up to joining the second round. So again, we're going to do what we did for the first round. We're going to chain 1, and then into this first stitch here we're going to ½ double crochet. So yarn over into the stitch, draw through a loop, yarn over, and draw through all of it. Now at this stage I recommend that you try your top on. If you're happy with it, you can just tie it off. So I'm just going to give it a quick try on. I'm really happy with how this one's going, but I think for me I definitely like just one more round. I really like how it's sitting. Okay, so I have just tried this on. I was just finished my 3rd round, so the beginning round, the 2nd round, and I've just finished the 3rd round, and I've decided that I love how it's sitting. So I'm not going to do a 4th round, but if you wanted it to come up a little higher, like when you're looking at it in the mirror, you can absolutely do another round. To finish off, we chain 1, 2, 3 and slip stitch into that stitch. Now I'm going to slip stitch across one more just for a little bit of security. Then we snip our yarn, leaving a decent sized tail, and we draw it through. So that's the top done. Now we do exactly the same to our sleeves. So I will actually go around and do both sleeves the same. So just go round and round and round just in this same little mesh stitch. And then we will come back together to do what I would like to show you for this little section here, for this little V. So I will catch you after the sleeves are done. So we are going to do our little chain ladder up the side here, just to open this out and to also bring the crochet down the top. It's not all sitting at the top of the top. So we start with a slip knot and our little hook. So I found that for this particular job, it's easier if we turn the work on its side. So first things I'm going to do is add in one just here. So it's a bit hard going. So I'm going to very carefully pierce it with my stitch ripper, and I mean very carefully. If you go too hard, you could just rip through your entire fabric all the way out and ruin it. So the stitch ripper's made the initial hole, and I've just got to get through. It's because double layers of fabric here, it does make it a bit trickier in this particular section. Make sure I don't crochet with the tail. So I'm going to go and 10 chains. Just need to make sure that our stitch comes around and sits on the side of the edge and doesn't squash it too flat. We don't want to lose any of the fabric off the side of this shirt. Around the neckline and around the armholes it's not so important, but we don't want to lose too much here. 9 and 10. And then going from the back on this side. Again, might help to use the stitch ripper very carefully. There we go. Okay, take our yarn to the back so it's not in the wrong place. And then carefully again make sure our stitch sits on the top edge and doesn't fold it over too much. So bring it up, give it a bit of height. So we've done our join. Now we're going to do 10 again, and this time we flip the shirt. What have I done here? Okay, I see what I've done. From this one we needed to go in from the top. Okay, so from that side we should have flipped the shirt and come in down from the top and then done it so that it was long, and then flip the shirt and then come in from the top is what we need to keep our stitches flat, although it's not such a big issue to keep your stitches flat. I just like to. So I want to come, I'm going to need a few more stitches. 11, 12. I think I must have crocheted a bit tighter in this one. No one's counting our stitches, are they? You just do it until you're sort of happy with how it's going to sit. Straight through the fabric. 10. Flip it. Find where we want it to go in. So about there, and poke it through. 10. And lay it all out. Make sure you're happy with how it's going. I'm going to pop that about there, but we need to flip the shirt around. About there looks good, doesn't it? And that looks good about there. flip it around, go across, say, I think 6 now. Flip the shirt, bring it over. I think we'll make it up here in this, near this seam here. And then what we'll do is chain 1, and then go over to this other side here. Okay, and then we cut it off. Do that. Okay, so everything is done. We just need to weave in lots of ends. I really hope you've enjoyed this adventure with me. I've never done anything like this before, and I was very nervous about cutting up one of my favourite shirts, but I'm a go hard or go home kind of girl, so I thought I'd try it out in the one I really liked first. Let me know if you've enjoyed coming on this journey with me to make one of my favourite shirts more wearable, and if you like this video then click the like button, and if you'd like to see more of my videos please click the subscribe button. Please share any comments that you have down below if you've got any ideas that you would like for me to try, and I will see you next time. Bye!